They stole all the cars! Oh my gosh!
Looters attack a high-end car dealership and make off with nearly 80 vehicles. That's a looter burning rubber as thieves have a field day at this Dodge dealership in San Leandro, California.
Oh, he stole that, y'all. Yeah! That's right!
And here's where they drove the car right out through the showroom floor.
Dealership owner Carlos Hidalgo says the looters drove off with nearly $2.7 million worth of new cars.
These are collector's cars. I have customers from all over the United States that buy these. What a shame to see what it came out to be.
And this is how the looters were able to make their getaway.
These are car safes. They hold 240 keys. So they got to the first one, and from there they went looking and seeing which one would beep the alarm.
Yes, plenty of people congregating here, very peacefully but also very vocally, to protest against the murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis, but also to protest what they see as systemic injustice here in the UK. And it's crucial to understand the context as to why people are protesting. Yes, events in the United States have certainly triggered more activism here, but those we speak to are quick to point out that the UK is not innocent when it comes to racism, that actually systemic and institutionalized prejudice and discrimination against the black community is not particular to or specific to one country, but is actually a global ideology and a global issue. What's amazing is that people are gathering here even amid a coronavirus pandemic. Now, Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, says that he supports the right to protest.
President Trump has reportedly ordered the Pentagon to cut the number of U.S. troops stationed in Germany by nearly a third, according to government sources cited by the Wall Street Journal. Around 25,000 would remain. American forces have been stationed in Germany, of course, since the end of World War II.
There was no official information and communication to the German government. We have also, as we understand, the Pentagon has so far deferred press inquiries to the White House, and which also pinpoints to the fact that this is probably more a political decision than one that was reached, built up based on military expertise.
Abdelmalek Drukdel was one of Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb's most well-known faces. Born in 1970 in Algeria, Drukdel was a university mathematics graduate who is believed to have fought in the Afghan civil wars in the 1990s. He returned to his native Algeria to join the GSPC, a splinter of Algeria's notorious armed Islamic group. In 2007, Drukdel played a critical role in merging the GSPC with Al-Qaeda to form what would become the dominant jihadist force in the region, Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb. According to French Defense Minister Florence Parly, as a member of the group's management committee, he used his influence to spread terror and chaos across North Africa and the Sahel region.
The new Israeli government is pushing ahead with its plans to annex parts of the occupied West Bank. That is despite criticism from the international community and the Palestinians. Our reporter Tanya Kramer visited the city of Jericho in the Jordan Valley, which is one of the areas that Israel intends to annex.
Jericho itself would remain under the administration of the Palestinian Authority, but it would be surrounded by the annexed area. The plans are based on US President Donald Trump's controversial peace proposal. Israel captured and occupied the Jordan Valley in 1967. It makes up a sizable part of a large contiguous area within the occupied West Bank. Israel considers the area a strategic security buffer towards the east. Palestinians say without the Jordan Valley there can't be a Palestinian state.
A show of fury in Guadalajara against alleged police brutality. The arrest and death of construction worker Giovanni Lopez a month ago has caused controversy and conflicting accounts in Mexico's second largest city. Police say the 30-year-old was detained for disturbing the peace. But this video shared widely on social media provoked protests. Not far from the city, bystanders identify the man being shoved into a vehicle as Lopez. They say police were using excessive force and that he was arrested for not wearing a mask. They're mandatory to prevent the coronavirus spread. Police say he was taken out of his cell for medical treatment and died hours later. The police deny brutality, but protesters are demanding accountability. While some use batons to smash police vehicles, some police officers pick up whatever they can to fend off protesters. One policeman had petrol poured over him and set on fire.
The lucky ones have a proper tent, the rest seek shelter from the cold with a simple piece of plastic. At least 500 Venezuelan migrants left jobless and homeless during the pandemic have built a makeshift camp on the outskirts of Bogotá. They're all trying to return home. Colombian authorities are preventing them from continuing their trip after the Venezuelan government started limiting the number of returnees because of coronavirus fears. That's caused bottlenecks along the route. Some migrants have managed to save enough for a bus ride to the border, but those too were cancelled. The camp has no running water, bathrooms or electricity. People survive on the charity of strangers that bring food and supplies. With most of the border closed, they have little options left but to wait.
About 35,000 people are said to have lost their lives in Brazil due to COVID-19. And also over 650,000 people have been infected. At the current rate, one Brazilian is said to be dying from COVID-19 pretty much every single minute. But President Jair Bolsonaro is unmoved. He wants the governors to withdraw the stay-at-home orders and he wants people to get back to work. On Friday, Bolsonaro criticized the anti-government protesters, calling them as outcasts and terrorists who are ignorant about the economy. Brazil's worst affected city of Sao Paulo has eased many of its lockdown restrictions. Some businesses such as car dealerships have now been allowed to reopen for about 4 hours every day. Despite the strict health protocols, there is also fear of a rapid surge in the number of cases.